You have been receiving contributions from your donors, and now it's time to thank some of those folks who have recently contributed. Over here under the Contribution Pledges branch, if I click on Contributions and I do an unfiltered search, I get about 63,000 transactions, but I have to first click the search button in order for anything to happen. But I also have a branch here called Thank You Letter Contributions. This one is a little bit special and different from the rest, in that when I click on it, it runs a query that says, look for those people who have not yet been thanked, as indicated by the lack of check mark here and the lack of date here indicates they have not yet been thanked. Let's go in and write a letter to these folks. I've got 10 people in my list. Down on the bottom, again, this particular link down here, I've got some buttons down here for letter, label, and sent. The one that I'm after right now is letter. Now, on the contribution list, if I go back over here for a moment and I just say look up those contributions from the last 10 days, here I get a list of contributions, but those buttons don't show down here. You can get at those from up here if you need to. Returning back to my thank you letter list, click on letter, and this opens up our word processor. Now it's a fairly simple word processor, not nearly as sophisticated as Microsoft Word, but as an example, I will show you one here. I'm going to insert a template that I've already created for individuals, and I'll preview this letter. It does indeed have some ways to enhance and make it pretty. So I've got a logo up top here. I have the names, the amounts, the date. I even have a signature in here as well. Let's go build that out and see what that looks like. First, I'll select everything and delete it. And then I will begin with a logo. Now for that, it could be just a copy and a paste. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my font size. I'm going to come up to here to this little AA button, and I'm going to go to a 14-point font. You probably choose something like 12, but it's easier on the video if I select 14. At this point, I'm going to put in today's date. So I'll scroll down here to the bottom of this insert fields area, and the one with 4 M's is the one that puts in the full name or the full text of the month. So September gets spelled out and so on. Next, I'm going to insert their name. So I'll scroll up here, and it's the third section here. I'm going to begin with title / first name org name, put in a space, put in the last name, and the next one is their address. Now, in my opinion, the only one that's correct here would be the mail address block. What that will do is concatenate all the address information into an appropriately formatted address. Let's go see what I've got so far. So let's print, I'll just print the first 3 pages. Preview. So there's page 1, page 2, page 3. Got my date, my name. Working well so far. All right. Next is going to be something like salutation, and that too. Now that one I might go to my nickname for that one. So I'll scroll up to where my name block is, and I'll pick nickname or first name. What that one will do is if a nickname exists, it'll put the nickname in there. If it doesn't, it'll just go back and default to the first name. Make sure you put a $sign in there because we have customers in different countries with different symbols. The dollar amount is way up on the top. And the date is above the amount, which I need to adjust the elevator here. There we go. Let's preview my letter now. I'll do all 10 of them. Make this a little bit larger, so I'll zoom in so you can see it. And here we'll see Janet for $300 on the 28th of February. Now here's a 4-line address. If I go back to Janet for just a moment here, you'll see that she's just got a 3-line address, but the next one happens to be a 4-line address, formatted the way I needed it to for postal standards. and the mail address block field is what does that for me. Scrolling through on the rest, there's another 4-line address, $100 on March 1st, and so on. When I'm ready to print, I can print directly from here, or I could also print back on this button down here, print, and this time instead of doing a print preview, just send it off to my printer. Once I'm done, click OK. But before I do that, I really ought to save this because this is a format that I want to come back and use once again. So I'll cancel that, and I'm going to come up to here to this file menu way up top, and I'm going to say save as a template. You may change your thank yous from year to year. Now if I close this out and I insert that same template, there it is, everything's back, and I can preview again, and indeed I will have my information back on the screen as I had it a moment ago. Now that I've saved the template, I am all done. Let's cancel out. I have saved what I needed to, so this is okay. The next step is to tell the database that we indeed did mail off these letters. And the way we do that is by clicking the Sent button. When I click the Sent button and click OK, it put in a check mark and a date for all of those items. If I now wanted to print some labels, I could have done that before I did the Sent, but if I want to print labels, I can do that as well from here. And you can see here I've got Avery 5160 label format. Now, if I return back to my list of who needs a thank you letter, that list is empty because there is nobody remaining out there that does not have this check marked.